Hey, good morning, my Teaser King family. How is everybody? I hope you're well. I hope we're all getting prepared, buying our gold and silver before everything goes to shit. So let's take a look. So, what are we talking about today? So, we got some baseball. If there's football questions or comments, you can leave comments uh, on my page on the videos now. I opened that up. So far, no comments, but I have opened it up. I used to have it, then I took it down, and now because I'm teaching more economics, I do want to make sure if there's people who watch it late and have questions, like yesterday I did communism and free markets and prices and all that. If people have questions and they can, hey, what do you mean by this? And then I can answer it here. I did get an email from one of my friends about the teaser king. So let's look at that. So if we go into history, and I'm going to answer a question, which is why I like this is an email question. Okay. So the question was about when you receive the picks. This is how you'll receive the picks. It'll be pro or it'll be college or both. And both is Chicago is pro, Indy was college. So I call it a pro and a college pick. Otherwise, it's pro or it's college. But I didn't know what to do when I had, like Indy was the only game, and then I had these other pro games. What do I do with it? So that's why I call it pro college. Now, the question was, how do I bet it? Well, so the first bet is Houston under 41 down to 47 and a teaser, and Denver over 46-40. This is when Denver played Buffalo. This is when Houston played New England. It's a lock, 30 units, and we won it. But more importantly, that's my bet. That was my bet, Houston, Denver. Then I played Seattle under against the Niners, I believe, and Houston under in the New England game. So I played Houston twice because I liked it. Then we have Denver as a home dog to Buffalo. We took it. And then we played Chicago as a home dog to the Rams, and we won it. And you can see the variance, 30 units, 27, and then 17, 17, 17. So really, in your mind, he's playing a 17 unit, which means I have to play X for 17 units based on your bankroll and that. Maybe it's at this age, this is near the end of the season, you're up a bunch. So maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's 500. I don't know. But that's whatever your bankroll determines. The 30 unit, I want you to play almost twice as much as the 17 unit. And there you would have won. All right. So question being asked is, well, what do I do? Well, let's say you want to play a 4 or 5 team teaser. You play Houston under and Denver over. You play Seattle under. You've already got Houston under. And then you can play Denver with the Bears. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5-team teaser there I'm giving you. I can only show 2 teams because the way I set it up, and it's too hard to go back and say, oh, let me put a 14 teaser or 16 teaser. But these are my bets reading across: Houston under, Denver over, Seattle under, Houston under, and that's the amount I wagered. Really, it's the units bet. And then did I win or lose? And is it free or a lock? Then we got the Bears under with Indy over. Once we saw the weather at 20 below, we said they're not scoring 54, and they didn't come close. Again, Indy over in the college playing Miami. It went over. And then Seattle under. I wanted to play twice. So I played Houston under twice. I played Seattle under twice. I played Indy over twice. And all three were good bets, and all three won. So you could have played a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 team teaser. There's 7 different teams there, even though it's a 5 teasers, which really make it 10. So that's where it is. So you could play it any way you want. Now, if you want to play Houston, Seattle under, you really like Seattle under with that great defense, Kenneth Walker, and you really like Houston under. You can play those two on your play. I'm showing you these are my picks, my bets. Houston, Denver, bet 1, Seattle, Houston, Seattle under, Houston, Denver, Chicago. Let's say you like Denver as a home dog to Buffalo, and the cold weather in Chicago, you said, shit, that I'm going to play that one. So you might play Denver as a home dog with Chicago under, and add Indy over in the college championship. You could have played those 3. You can play anything you want in any order you want it. You can make it a 4-team teaser. You can make it a 6-team teaser. You can keep it at 2. You can play 3 because you want to get better odds. I have my friends who play 10-point teasers, and they go, Howard, you never lose by a lot on the loser you have. So I'm just going to play your 4 picks in a 10-point teaser, and he wins all the time because if I lose, I'm not losing by a lot. So that's his theory, and he wins all the time. So again, you could play this. This is the games to bet on. And I don't know which way to do it. So I show my bet. Houston under, Denver over. That's the bet. That's the lock. That's the game I like the most. But you can say, you know what? I'm going to add Chicago under because he's right. It's 20 degrees below zero, and it's the Rams. It's not going to be high scoring. And so you add that one. Now you got a 3-team teaser. Or you really like Indy over in college. Boy, they beat Oregon 100-0. And here they got Miami with Tony, and, they're really scoring, and, you can go that route. So these are the best selections I give you, right? And then you choose, you can play it the way I've played it, or you can play it any way you want to play it, right? So I don't know if most people play, I'm going to play the Houston Denver lock, 30 units. It's a big one. I normally play $100. I'm going to play this for $500. That's what I got. What kills me is I get some customers who say, oh, I have Pittsburgh here. And I'm like, I didn't give you Pittsburgh. Why are you playing Pittsburgh when Pittsburgh's not on it? Because they're listening to other handicappers because they haven't learned yet. I am the Grand Master. So I'm going to go see. Now, even this is not 10-0. Theoretically, it's 5-0 in teasers. But even that, I got Houston under twice. I didn't really go 10-0. I really went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I really went 7-0 this weekend. But because I put them in multiple teasers, Houston under, Indy over, Seattle under, because I put them in multiple teasers, I turned 7-0 into 5 winning teasers, or 10-0. And that's really what I'm looking at. That's why I have a hard time trying to explain it. It's really 7-0 here. So when people want to look at my percentage, it's 7-0. It's not 10-0. But because of my skill set, and I've been doing this since 1977, I know, hell, Houston under is great play, as was Seattle under, as was Indy over. And then I couldn't pass up Chicago under when it's 10 below out, you don't get scores. And then taking Denver as a home dog to Buffalo. I liked it, but Buffalo, it's Buffalo. And I said, well, I got to be careful with it. And Denver wins the game. And we were never worried as the home dog. And same thing with the Bears. But you don't want to fuck with the Rams and you don't want to fuck with Buffalo too much. So you fuck with them a little, but that's why it's not a lock. Kansas City as a dog, I fuck with them I make those pretty big bets. So this is the picks you're getting and how you bet them, if it's a lock or not. And then next to the wager on the picks page will be the units. So really focusing on the units. So you're going to determine, I'm going to play $50 a unit right now, but it's not 50 times 30. So you're not playing necessarily $1,500 on the game. Your unit might be $50, but like if it's an 11 unit play, a 17 unit play, you don't times 50 times 17. You figure out, well, he's giving me a good play 7 because this is near the end. So I start with 5 and 7 units and then it goes up to 11. And then at the end, I know I got it down cold. And this is why I say, don't look at me for 1 week. Because as I learn the teams, then we start getting this where I run the table. And there I go, 5 for 5, 5 for 5 in teasers. So you're going to, as you get going and you build your bankroll up, you're going to go, oh, he's got an 11 unit play. That's going to be $100. Or if I got really big hitters, it's going to be $5,000. And then, it's a 30 unit lock. The rich guy might go 50,000 on the game, and the rest of us might just go 2,000 or 3,000 or 2,500. His lock, I'm going to play for 2,500. His regular game, I'm going to play for 1,000. As you build your bankroll, other people might go, well, his regular play is 100, and his lock's going to be 500, and you go from there. Again, it's determined on your bankroll. The bigger your bankroll, then you would kind of adjust it. In the beginning, it might be $50 for the regular play, $150 for the lock. And then as we understand the thing, like I would never have locked Houston under. Well, I might have Houston under, but Seattle under, I never would have locked that week 1. Or the other, what was the other? Well, Denver over, yeah, because they were playing Buffalo. But Denver's playing well, so I probably would have locked that early. Seattle under, I probably wouldn't have played week 1 or week 2. But Buffalo, you see, has no defense, and Josh Allen, they're a perfect over team. And Bo Nix is going to light him up, and that's exactly what he did. And then he wins the game. So I look at the game, boy, it's going to be high scoring. But then I look at the game, and the line's wrong. Denver should be favored by 3. I get Buffalo favored by 1.5. Which is why I go to my, which is why I figure out the games, give them my scores. Hey, Johnsy, give my scores, and then wait a minute. This is why I give. Well, Denver's a 3-point favorite. The line's wrong. I think in week 1, the Lions, I got Detroit as 7, and I think I have it as 3. So they got a misline in there. They're overvaluing Detroit. They have no defense. A lot of people injured who they expect to come back. And then they expect them, like Hutchinson, they expect him to come back just like before he broke his leg. Well, anybody that's broke your leg in half knows you're not coming back the same way. So they're overvaluing them, and New Orleans looked really good. And we'll see them in preseason, and we'll see Shaw. We like the coach, Kellen Moore. We like him. Surprised Kellen Moore won't pick up Daggio Pava. But once you see all that, then you start, and then you make your line. And in this case, look how much money we made with Denver as a home dog, because Denver should have been a 3-point favorite because Buffalo doesn't have a defense. We've figured out the keys, but I'm the one who comes up with the keys to go, yeah, this is an over team. This is an under team. It's not easy. It's a very much an art, not a science. In other words, you can't just look at the numbers and go, they're an over team. There's an art to it. And that's why I do as successful as I am, is understanding, as I'm doing in baseball, there's an art to the pick. It's not just number. That's why when people want to just do formulas, I go, you can't. You can't just, there's not just a formula, go ahead. There's an art to it. And this is pure art. And this is my analytical strength coming out. The art of this is, yeah, Denver's a home dog. That's crazy. That's the art, because everybody, oh, it's Josh Allen in Buffalo. But if you read into the defense, and you know, Denver's got a good defense, and Bo Nix is a lot better than most people think. And we like Sean Payton, and the game's in Denver. There's no way they're getting blown out at home. They're probably going to win the game, and they did. So that's all the art, and that's why I'm successful every year. Every year. So that's what you can do. So you get the picks, and then it's up to you really how you want to play them. So you can play all 10. You can play the best three. You can play, well, both locks you can't play because Houston's unders in them, but you can play those three, you know, the three different teams in the lock, make it a 3-team teaser, and go from there. So you have that ability. So anyway, that's because that was the question asked. How do I play it? So again, these are my picks. Houston, Denver, Houston under, Denver over is my pick, and I love it. And it's 30 units. You can see what I'm doing in baseball, 2 units. Although I did play Mizorowski a 4-unit play yesterday, which won, and Suarez I played for a 3-unit play. Sanchez, which did win. But that's the difference. That's also the art of knowing, what am I going to lock and what am I not. And sometimes there's no locks, and sometimes I went through a stage when Carolina was playing with whatchamacallit, Cam Newton, and I went 25-5 on my locks. I had 5 locks a week, and I was hitting all 5 of them. And it's some games, some weeks you can't find a lock. Just like in baseball, some games I can't, some days I can't find, I can't find a real lock or a real strong play. They're okay, maybe. And then some days, like yesterday, oh yeah, we go and we had Mizorowski, we had Sanchez. It was like Christmas. So that's how you play it. You play it. Here are my bets going across, and they're all 2-team. But easily you can see where I've got 1 team and 2 teasers. That's probably the strongest team. That's the lock. And here I did it 3 times: Seattle under, Houston under, and Indy over against Miami. Why do I play Indy over against Miami? Because I can't really decide. Miami with Ruben Bain and Tony and Fletcher, and Indiana is okay. They beat Ohio State, but they're scoring, and I can see they started to score more against Oregon. And Old Mississippi scored on Miami. So I said, well, okay, they're starting to play. Oh, and it was only 40. All I knew was 21-20, and I think it was 28-24 final. And so that's what you're really looking at. You're really looking at what's going on, right? You're reading it, and then the art is to kind of figure it out. But again, when I really find that one game, I play it. Now, some weeks there isn't that game, and I can't force a lock, and I won't have a lock. Very rare. Usually I can find, oh, it's Mahomes or Denver or Philadelphia or somebody. You can usually, the Rams, oh, who's playing the Lions? Let's go over in that game. And so usually you can figure out one game. In a good week, I can find 2 or 3 locks. And when I really hit the town, it's 4 or 5 locks. I've had 5 locks before. It's just what presents it. So anyway, you get the picks, you'll get a password. Now I'm going to give, if you buy the year, you're getting 1 password, and you just keep using it because it goes till the Super Bowl. So you'll just use that password and pop it in. It says password, then you get the picks, and it'll tell you free pick, which free pick I give out here now. And then it's, I don't really do the trends. I used to do the trends, but they're meaningless now because Look at the Bears. They had Caleb. Well, you couldn't use the trends. Then they get Ben Johnson. So you have 1 year of Ben Johnson. So now you got a little bit of trends with Cleveland, with Chicago. But most of these teams changing quarterbacks and coaches, the trends are real meaningless. At first, I used to do the trends would be like on Detroit and Minnesota or Detroit and Green Bay. And it would be, oh, Detroit's beat them 7 times in a row. That would be the trend of the game. But we talk about it now. So what I've written down, I talk about, and I'll tell you. And I always tell you teaser trends and stuff like that. And really, it's just finding the time to put them in, although I might start doing that again. But you're going to get everything here. And so it's how you want to bet it. I can tell you how I bet. I show you how I bet. I show you the units. And then we go from there. And I don't want to confuse 30, 77. 77 is just for luck. The 30 dollar bet, but I don't necessarily bet 3,000. It's just 30 unit. But if I put, I'm betting 5,000 on this game, it'll confuse it. What do you mean? You got 30 units, you got 5,000. So it's just peripheral. Here's the pick. Here's how strong I like it. So I want you to bet more on the stronger games. That's really all I'm doing. And then I used to do 5-team teasers with guys, and I'd get 20%. And we did pretty well. So we can do that, but only if you are a customer. I don't want people not buying and then go, oh, yeah, we'll split. Let's do a 10-team teaser. And I give him my 10 picks and he loses. He goes 9-1, but he gets my picks for nothing. So I'm not going to do that. If you're a buyer, then I will do that with you. But if you're not a customer, I'm not going to give my picks free when everybody else is paying. So that's not going to happen. And anyway, so that's football. That's the idea, is you're betting in the purchase picks, and that's what it is. So there you go. So there was five teasers, a total of really 7 teams, and I happened to win them all, and it goes to the total. So you can see what the method is, but it's how do I arrive at that, and that's where the analysis comes in. Why do I like Houston under? Well, they got the best defense. They were playing New England, who had a great defense. And if C.J. Stroud didn't throw 5 picks, it wouldn't even have been close. All right. So that is the Teaser King. So I hope that answered your question about they do go. It's just one teaser and then another and another and another. And you see 7 games there, even though you see 5 teasers. And then you can go from it. You can play exactly the way I played. You can then play. I'm going to play these 3 teams in a 3-team teaser to get, there. If you would have played a 7-team teaser, you'd have made out well. We've had Titus who played my games in a 10-team teaser and a 10-team non-teaser, just a 10-team parlay, and he won 20 grand. So good for Titus. So that's football, okay? And I try to walk you through how I arrive at that. So again, you can't just look at it and go. You have to arrive. What type of team are they? Oh, Buffalo, an over team. Denver, a real strong team. Good at home. Good coach. Good quarterback. Good defense. But Josh Allen's going to be able to score. So I'm gonna go over with it. But you know what? I do like Denver. So I like both ways on it. So I'll play them both. So the beauty of the teaser, sometimes you can win all 4. You can go over, under, take team A and take team B, and they all win if they're close. So that's what you're looking for. And what I'm developing is the teams, and then I know, they're a live dog. They're not a live dog. They're an over team. They're an under team, and you can see where it fills in now. That helps you derive at the picks. And then the confidence comes in by going, well, I know Buffalo's going to score a ton, or Houston's got a wicked defense, and so does New England, where they're going to get points. And so that's what once you know the teams and you got that perfect over or perfect under, then it's an easy bet, and that's where your locks come from. All right. Let's look at gold and silver now, and then we will get to baseball. And what a day. Baseball went 9-1. All right. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to find, this is the Shanghai gold price in dollars, and I'm getting this. I'm not getting, see, they're just taking the COMEX and it's a little premium. Well, that's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for the physical price, but this is what I get. So I talked to Ed Spur on an email. He doesn't know. He says, I don't know. I says, okay. So Pat, if you're out there, I need you to tell me what the stores are selling it for in Singapore. And I think I'll put this in the title. But so Pat, if you go to the store, what is their gold price? I need you to maybe once a week on on a Monday or Wednesday, just pop in the store or go online of the store and see what the physical price is for a 1 ounce, gold piece, gold coin, and just report in if you would do us that favor, or give me the link so I can then go in and see what they're selling. But right now, this is the best I'm getting, which I know is not a physical price. It's the same as the fucking spot price. And it even says Shanghai spot. So I don't know if I go into our normal goldprice.com, I'm getting 40.74 right after our 10 o'clock drop. What is it, 11 o'clock? Silver 58.65. So we're still fighting this COMEX bullshit. The dollar's stronger, which it isn't. And therefore, since the dollar's stronger, then the gold price goes down because it's linked, which is total bullshit. The dollar can't be stronger, not on its own. It might be stronger versus the euro, but both the currencies are worthless. Now, the other myth I need to clean up on is Alligator and Mark McGuire, where they sit there and they go, it's the dollar going down, not gold going up. Now, first of all, there is no correlation. Is there a correlation between Mickey and the dollar going down or gold going up? No. Is there demand for this card? And if there's still demand because it says Mantle, then it has a value. And then if more people want it because it's a Mantle and this is a mint condition card, the price goes up. Irrelevant if the dollar's down and gold's up and this is that and that's this. So gold is the same beast. Gold goes up because people want it, because there's demand for it. People will pay more for it. Do they care what the dollar's doing? Absolutely not. And it's not tied where, the dollar went from 98 to 99% gone, and therefore gold should go up 1%. That's ludicrous. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It has nothing to do with it. If we want to go buy gold ounces because they're 40,074 right now, do we give a fuck? Absolutely not. We don't give a fuck. We only want to buy the gold. Now, the fact that the dollar is being destroyed and worthless is one of the reasons we buy gold. But even if it wasn't, we'd want to buy gold. You're buying gold because the dollar's gone. Okay, but we don't know the value of the dollar. Nobody knows the value of the dollar, and nobody knows the value of gold. And that's the whole point. It's strictly there for it is not a correlation. It is not the dollar's down, so gold's up. No, this is what people are bidding on gold. And I'm saying in our world, people would bid 7, 8,000 for gold or 10,000 for gold because you have to have gold and you want to get out of the dollar. So it really doesn't matter. You're going to bid more for it. And that's the point. And that's the whole idea. It's what you bid for. It's how badly you want it. It's what you'll spend. If I got 100 grand, I don't care. I'm getting out of the dollar because they're worthless. I'm going to buy gold. What's the value of gold? I don't know. I'll pay whatever to get the ounce. So there's no correlation. Oh, the dollar went down. The dollar's done. We don't know the value of the dollar, so we don't care. We only know we have to get in the gold and silver because we need to get in the lifeboat because the dollar is worthless. So it's, in my mind, it's worth zero. And gold is, I'll buy it at any price because I have no choice. I got 100 grand. I got to get rid of. I'm going to buy gold and silver with it. So it's not a correlation. And they keep calling it, alligators. So, it's not, it's the dollar going down. Mark McGuire is like going, oh, gold's going to go through the roof. He says, no, it's the dollar going down. No, it is gold going through the roof. Mark's exactly correct because of the demand. And part of the reason that we sit there and bitch at this COMEX is because they're pushing the price down. Well, what does that mean? That means they're doing options. They're doing call options, which are basically shorting the gold price. Well, that's done. It's got nothing to do with the dollar, and it's got nothing to do with the physical. They're just shorting, like they're playing stocks. They're shorting the gold price. Well, that's not real. That's not the physical price. And that's why you can't say the dollar didn't go up, forcing the gold price down. So that's the whole argument. Well, if the gold price goes up, if the dollar goes up or down, doesn't matter. Gold's going down because they're shorting it to try to make money because they think it's a stock. That's why in the physical world, we hold the physical. And that's why I'm looking for a Shanghai physical gold price, because that's got to be 10 times higher, because the demand for the physical, there's 4 million tons of paper gold and 200,000 tons of physical. It has to be worth a hell of a lot more than this 4,073. It's bullshit. So anyway, keep that in mind. That's why we do it. So I gotta kill that myth that it's the dollar going down, not gold going up. Gold is going up. We don't know what the physical value of gold is. That's why we're looking at Shanghai going, what are you guys pricing the physical price at? Which we don't know. It ain't 4,078, that's for sure. And same with silver. Silver's 75 million tons of paper and 1 million physical. And I don't even know if it's 1 minute. That's what's been dug out of the ground. But when they shoot these missiles and they blow up the silver, well, there goes 500 ounces of silver that's gone. So there's less than 1 million, but no, how do you know? But anyway, it's 75 million versus 1 million. So we will see. Anyway, so that's our gold and silver. Again, I will keep looking at it. Pat, please give us a comment or leave a comment in my on my video and say, at this place, the physical is this. Here's the link to it, and then I can go in and see. Here's our physical price at the Wing Hong gold and silver surplus store. This is what they're selling it at. But Singapore will give us a fair price. Okay, I was starting to talk about communism because the girl started talking about perfect communism, as if the regular communism Stalin and Mao killed everybody with wasn't perfect. And they want to get rid of money. And you look at that and you're like, why would you get rid of money? First of all, what a stupid comment that in perfect communism, they don't want government. They don't want money. We're all just supposed to have excess food and clothing. And we just go to the grocery store and grab our food. And That's all we need. Not that there'll be choice. And it's such a fantasy. It's a nightmare. It's not good. It's terrible. It's like Sauron running everything, right? You will starve and you will die in it. And to not have money, nobody will produce anything. That's the problem with it. Why is it even out there? I don't know. Why are they pushing socialism in New York and Seattle? That's even a bigger picture. But to get out of money makes no sense because you need money to buy things. And people produce because they make money. And that's the goal you want to make money. You want to have a good life. You want to go on a vacation, play golf, take your girl to a nice restaurant, go on a nice trip, go to Vegas. You're not doing it without money. So it really is the stupidest concept I've ever heard in my life is to not have money. Well, how are we gonna take a flight? What's United gonna charge us to fly us to Vegas? Well, no, it'll be free. Oh, so who's gonna pay for United's gas? They'll just pay. Nobody will charge anything. It's the dumbest concept I've ever heard in my life. There's zero chance it's a negative chance that it could ever possibly work. And yet people want this system because that's what they're teaching in school, but they don't tell you the whole story. They just say, oh, everything will be free. And as if everything will be the same as what's going on now, which is ludicrous. No money, no profit motive. Nobody's making anything. The farmers aren't going to grow wheat. They might grow a little for themselves, but they're not growing for everybody else because there's no profit involved. You take money out, you take profit out, we all die. If you went without money, we'd all be dead in a week because nobody would produce anything. The grocery stores would be empty. There wouldn't be this plentiful food. When you go to Kroger's, there's a lot of food because they all make money off of it, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with making money. So it just is ludicrous. All right. Wanted to get that out there because it's such a stupid concept. And yet I'm hearing it from a lifeguard. What the fuck is she trying to tell me, an Austrian economist, about this bullshit? I really don't get, but I don't even get is why they're teaching this crap in the public schools. Well, this is economics. This isn't economics. This is voodoo crap. This isn't real. All right. Let's look at baseball. 9 winners and 1 loser. We start off with Cleveland under 7. This was your free pick for 3 units. Tampa wins 1-0. Nice call. Pitt over 9. Let's see. Let's get to that. Pitt wins 8-7, over 9, an easy one. If Scanes ain't going, because they can hit, and so is the Cubs. We have Boston under. We have Boston. We didn't play it over under. We just played Boston with Ranger Suarez, and 3-unit play. Boston wins 6-1. KC and Detroit, I didn't play. I didn't bet on it. I took the game under 9, and it was 5-4. KC wins, and I just laughed so hard that the Tigers lost to Kansas City again. The Dodgers and the Mets. The Dodgers over 8.5, and the Mets win 8-3 because the pitcher of the Dodgers sucks, and the Mets pitcher sucked, and they both sucked, and it was 8, and they got an 11, and we're over 8.5. San Diego, we play over Miami with Ferris Bueller, and he gets a win for us. San Diego wins 5-3, another winner. We have Houston over 9, and the White Sox win 12-3 of 15. We're over 9, another winner. We have Milwaukee with our man Mizorowski, and Milwaukee wins 11-2. He did pitch, I think, 6 innings, like 90 pitches or whatever, so he's okay. 11-2 Milwaukee. That was your lock. That was your third free play. So Cleveland under 7, a winner. Boston straight out wins, and Milwaukee kills. So three winners, 3 free plays, 3 winners. Our only loser of the day is Cincinnati 5, St. Louis 3, and we lost it in the bullpen in the 10th inning. So that was a tough one, and St. Louis just isn't hitting. Seattle 6, Texas 4. We don't play it. I'm surprised I missed it. Because this is DeGrom, and you didn't know. I mean, the total was 7, and I kind of liked it. I wasn't sure. I said DeGrom can shut you out, or they're both giving up 3-4 runs. But because it was DeGrom, I didn't play it and did go over. California 4, the Niners 3. It just shows you how inept they are. The total was 8.5. And our last game, Philly with Sanchez on the mound, wins 11-4, and that was a 3-unit. That would have been another free lock, but 3's enough. And so 11-4. So we added up 9-1. We add up the units, 20 units. And if you notice, plus 20 units, you made a fortune. And if you notice, Cleveland 3 units, Boston 3 units, the Dodgers over 3 units, Milwaukee 4 units, and Philadelphia 3 units. As I become more comfortable with my systems, and I'm trying to become a grandmaster in baseball and football, I'm starting to go, Mizrahi, he's not losing. Let's not make it 2 units. Let's make it more. Sanchez, let's make it 4 units. And Boston, Ranger Suarez, let's make it 3 units. So as I'm becoming more familiar with my system and understanding the pitchers and getting a feel for it, this is an art, not a science. Science is using the formulas. That's why I hate analytics. Problem with analytics, let's go for it on 4th and 2, is a science. They just come up with numbers that says, if you go on 4th and 2, you'll make it 52% of the time. It's sort of like lefties and righty. We'll bring in the lefty to pitch to the lefty. If the lefty sucks, or do you pinch hit the righty? Well, if the righty's hitting 120, I probably don't pinch hit with the righty and assume the lefty is bad. I assume the lefty can hit lefties. So that's where all these coaches are getting fired in all these sports, is because they're looking at it as a science, not an art form. You have to look at these things as an art form. Analytics is it's just numbers, and it doesn't break down. Against the Eagles, you probably don't want to go on 4th and 2 because you're not going to make it. Maybe against Arizona or Cleveland, you might make it, but not against Seattle or not against Aaron Donald. You got to be out of your mind to try it. So it doesn't differentiate who you should try it against. But that's what a science is. We're art. We kind of we're analyzing, we're problem solving, we're being creative. We're creative. I think that I can't think of the term. We're being very creative analytically on it. And we're going, this doesn't make sense. You don't want it, like Winnebago for San Antonio. Dude, you're 7'4". You stay by the basket. You block all the shots. You never go out for the 3-point shooter. We'll find somebody else to do that. And you stand under the basket like Coach in the or Chief in the what was that movie? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where Nicholson you stand under the basket, I'll throw it to you, and you lay it in. That's your role. You're the chief. Stay under the basket. We're going to throw it to you. You dunk it or do a sky hook. You do not shoot from 3-point. You're 7'4". Are you out of your fucking mind? And that's the problem. They're losing analytics instead of being creative or critical thinker. That's right. You got to be a critical thinker in everything. In the girls, why is she asking me for money? Wait, is she dating me because she loves me or she wants my money? And you got to critically think that. And the whole thing is like that. And that's what the art is. The art is the critical thinking. The science is not thinking at all and just taking numbers that mean nothing and going, well, I'm supposed to go to a lefty or righty, or they can't go 3 times to the lineup, or, oh, it's 100 pitches, so I got to pull my guy. Well, the guy can go 120 pitches. Like I was saying, there was the 75 World Series, Game 6, and Louis Tiant threw 163 pitches, and they won the game. And the manager said, I knew Louis could throw 163 pitches. Not everyone can, but I knew he could. And that's my point. Scanes, Mizrowski, they could probably throw 130, 140 pitches. Or Scherzer could, or Verlander could. But you're just sitting there going, well, no, 95 pitches, that's it. We got to pull you out because analytics says, so you're using science, you're not using art. In art, I would sit there and go, all right, it's Jack Morris. How many pitches do you think you can give me? 150, 160. Okay, I'm going to leave you in the whole game. And again, Game 7 in Minnesota, he went 10 innings. Now he would have went 7. Baseball's changed. Bullshit baseball has changed. They use this analytics, and the managers are a bunch of idiots. So I would sit down and like Screwball on the Tigers, who I always laugh at because he's a loser. I'd go, okay, how many pitches can you give me? And then I would analytically, critically think it and go, well, I need you to throw like 130 pitches, especially in a playoff game. This is Game 5 against Seattle. We need you the whole game, right? This isn't just a regular Thursday night against the JETSs or against Kansas City. This is a playoff game against Seattle. This is not a 90-pitch night. This is 125 to 135. You got to give me that. And if you can't, then you're going to go work at Kroger's as a beggar. If my pitcher can't go that, then I don't need a guy who can only go 5 innings in a big game. The reason they do it is why I want to rest them and get them to the playoffs. But once you're in the playoffs, you're going 9 innings. You're going 130, 140 pitches. And with Scooble's case, I don't care if your arm falls out. We're not going to sign you anyway, so let the Yankees or the Dodgers deal with you. And I'm sure nobody wants to deal with this guy. So this is where the art comes in, not the science. And you critically think it with the pitcher, and you sit down and say, I need you about 130 pitches. I'm paying you $35 million. That's for 9 innings, not for 5. If you only want to pitch 5, you're going to get half the contract. We'll give you $20 million. And that's how it should be. But to use the science of the analytics to do it is ridiculous. That does not hold water at all. It's like AI. It's only what it's programmed. It's the science. It's not the art. What's the budget? Well, who knows if the AI is even doing it correctly? It even knows what a budget is. Well, explain the variances. It's not going to do it right. You can't use AI for that. Even if you program it, well, a budget is this. It won't do it. It's not Star Wars where the guys in the white are all robots. No. That's where these communism guys want to. We're going to put you in this one place where everybody, there'll be food and you can all, just have no houses. You just have, but there's going to be this fence and these white soldiers that are robots patrolling you so you can't leave. You're basically all fucked. Oh, but it's perfect communism because it always is. It's always worked. See, this is what kills me. Capitalism and free market and competition always has worked. Money is always worked if you don't print it. If you realize it and don't go printing it. That's if you critically think it. Schools don't want you to critically think. They want you to use the science, not the art. So I'm teaching you the art, sort of say. And I know it in football very well. I'm learning it in baseball, 9-1, 20 units, very well. So in 2 days, I've went 7-3, 9-1, 16-4, plus 30 units. I'm learning. This is what I do, though. I figure out why I lose, and I go in and I figure that the reason I lose most of my bets is the bullpen the manager pulling my hitters, going to the bullpen, and the guy with the 8 ERA who shouldn't even be in the leagues there. He's eating up innings. He lets the starter give up 8 runs in the second inning like an idiot. So he just gives up the game. It's so stupid. Anyways, that's really what it is. If you critically think it, this guy can pitch 150 pitches. I'm sure they can all go 150, and it's not going to hurt. The correlation is, well, if they pitch a lot of pitches, it'll hurt their arm. Well, it's like running a marathon versus running 2 miles. Well, if he runs a marathon, he's going to hurt his leg. But if he runs 2 miles, like there's a restriction on how far you can run or how many pitches you can throw. We've all played baseball. You play all day. I could have easily pitched, 120 pitches without a problem. So anyway, that's what it is. But that's what we're looking for, is the art, more so than the science. And that's why I argue with people who just want to formula it. You cannot understand all the variables by just putting it in a formula. And it's very lazy. You're relying on the formula to give you the winner, and it won't work. It can't work. There's too many variables. And what do you do with Ben Johnson now? You got 1 year of him. You need another year. But at least I won't go back 2 years with the Bears. I'll just look at last year and this year with the Bears. I will go back further with Mahomes and Bo Nix. I go 1 year on Harbaugh and San Diego. You can't use anything on Oakland. New England's 1 year. This is why these trends are really hard to use, because with all, if you change a guard, it's fine, or you change the center with a tight end. But when you start changing coach and quarterback, you can't look at the old trends, and that's a mess. And that's why it takes me 4 or 5 games to figure out these new players. The Bears we've got now, and Houston we got, and the Rams we've got. So Seattle, you got a question mark without Kenneth Walker. What a stupid move. That has to be the dumbest move I've ever seen a team make. That'd have been like the Steelers getting rid of Franco Harris. Yeah, how many Super Bowls would they have won if they did that? None. Because you needed that run threat so Bradshaw would have time. That's why these teams take time to recover. Seattle's going to take a long time to recover getting rid of Kenneth Walker. Great defense. They'll turn it into an under. They'll double team Smith and Jimba, and they'll blitz Darnold, and it'll be, Darnold sucks again. All right. So that was yesterday. Very well done. But today we won't have Mizorowski, and we won't have Scanes, and we won't have some of that. Today is July 27. We should not have a full slate, as it's a Monday. It's a travel day. Mondays and Thursdays, we don't get a full slate. So let's go off the top. We got Seattle at Texas at 2:35 Eastern time. All times are Eastern. We got Seattle 131-8. We got General George Kirby against Ronker, 357 against 455. Superficially looks like an over, just because of the bad ERAs. Kirby, his 3-1. His last 4, 3-4, his last 7. Overs and unders. Last 6, 3 runs, 2, 2, 2, and then a shutout. So this guy's going to give up 2 or 3 runs in 6 innings. Kumar Rocker. I was watching the guy yesterday. I watched a little of the Tiger game, and the Kansas City pitcher was terrible. He kept like I don't know what he was trying to do. Of course, the Tigers are all looking for walks, so they won't swing at a slider outside. So that was it. But there was a play in the game that it was ridiculous. Ricky Green's up with the bases loaded, and I don't know if there was 0 outs or 1 out, and it's a 3-2 pitch. So he throws the pitch. He hits a ground ball up the middle. Should be a double play. No. The shortstop comes over. It's right at the base. All you got to do is step on the base, throw to first, double play. I've done it a million times. So the shortstop goes behind the second baseman. I don't know why. The second baseman's coming towards the bag to get the ball. And the second baseman stops because he sees the shortstop coming over, and the ball goes right between both of them. I would send the second baseman back down to Little League and give him a Kroger's apron and say, this is where you're working from now on. He sucked, and he looked like he sucked. He had no confidence. He looked scared. What the fuck is he doing out there? And then really the shortstop should never have come over that far. It was the second baseman's ball. The second baseman should have played the ball, figuring the shortstop's backing me up. If it was me out there, if the shortstop's coming over like that, I'm going to ignore him and I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to make sure the ball's caught, and I'm going to make sure we get the double. Just step on the base, throw to first, double play. It's too crucial if the base is loaded. If I can get it, I'm getting it. Because the third baseman should cut the shortstop on anything the third baseman can get. The shortstop's really going into the second base side, and really it's the second baseman's ball. The second baseman should cut the first baseman, the left fielder, the center fielder, if he can get it, takes the left fielder and the right fielder out. That's when Mantle got hurt. It was DiMaggio's ball because he's the center fielder. Even though Mantle caught on a water drain, like, what the fuck was that? Why is that out there? And, of course, Mantle happens to step right on it and hurts his knee. Him and Bobby Orr just makes you cry. But that's the point of it. And I'm watching this ground ball go up the middle, and it went through, and you're like, what the fuck happened? And this is Detroit, a ground ball double play. Now, there was an error on the second baseman, but what the fuck is the second baseman doing? And why is the shortstop worried about backing him up? The shortstop should never have come over second base, and the second baseman, they're playing up the middle for the double play. Well, it's the second baseman's ball. You've got to take the ball. Somebody has to take charge. So if I'm the second baseman, I'm making the double play with my eyes closed. It's my ball. I'm not going to back away from it. You never do that. You take it, and hopefully there's no contact, but you take the ball. So I couldn't believe what I'm watching minor league, Little League. In Little League, I knew to take the ball. So that was kind of like you just can't believe what you're watching. This is Major League Baseball, and I'm on the bike in the workout room, and there's another guy, and I go, I'm watching Little League Baseball. This is not professional baseball. That the second baseman, doesn't know what to do, and he's worried about the shortstop, so he backs away as if he's giving it to the short. You're there. It's a double play ball. You've got to attack the ball, take the ball, step on second, throw to first. It's not a play you back away and let the shortstop have. In that situation, second baseman, whoever can get to the ball, jumps to the ball. And this is the problem with these guys that switch positions all around. It's the stupidest thing to do because they don't play together. Had they played every day, the shortstop and the second baseman, they would know exactly what to do. But this is a new second baseman, and the shortstop, who knows how long he played. Oh, yeah, Bobby Witt was out. So you don't have Bobby Witt, and you got a second baseman who last played on the Bad News Bears playing second, so they don't know each other. What is the shortstop doing? If it was Bobby Witt, he would have taken control. He'd have probably gotten to the ball and got rid of the second baseman. But this is the problem. So when you get these injuries and you get these players that don't play together, and this is the problem. The Tigers do it all. Well, he's going to be third baseman today. Tomorrow he's going to be second baseman. He's going to be shortstop. They don't get a chance to play with each other. It's like juggling the offensive line. You cannot keep switching the right guard and the left tackle and the center and the right tackle. You've got to let them get continuity, and you got to do it in baseball. And to change positions like this, and it is not easy as a second baseman to go play third base. It's a totally different look. The ball comes out at a much steeper angle at third than second and short. So you can't make a second baseman a third baseman or vice versa. You're my third baseman. That's it. How many games did Brooks Robinson play at shortstop or second base? Cal Ripken was third, and then he went to shortstop. You never saw him at third again. Derek Jeter always played short. I mean, you can't keep monkeying around with the players because you lose the continuity. And this shows you how stupid the managers are, and they're using the analytics, the science. Well, I need a lefty in the lineup, and I'll play him at third. Tomorrow I'll play him at second. I'm going to play him in left field in the eighth inning. They're a bunch of idiots. All right. Kumar Rocker, Texas. He's 3-2 his last 5, 3-2 overs. His last 6, 7 runs, 2-0, 3, 7, and 0. 7 against Houston, and he shuts out the White Sox. Amazing. So, again, it's very inconsistent what you get here. The overall ERA of 4.55 is right, but it's a 7-run game and it's a 1-run game to get to the 4.55. So there's no consistency. And Kirby, I'm not going to play. Well, I hate Texas. I don't know what I'm getting with Texas. You had Jacob deGrom on the mound, and it goes over. Now, again, I didn't bet it, but you don't know what you're getting. Arizona against Pitt. Pitt won 14, 9.5. Kelly for Arizona, 5-1-6 against Keller for Pittsburgh, 4.92. Superficially, this is going to be an over because Pitt hits, but both pitchers stink. Merrill Kelly, 3-1 his last 4. His last 6, 3 runs, 5 runs, 2 runs, 1 run, 3 run, 2 runs. Pitt will score in the game. Keller for Pittsburgh. And he is 2-3 his last 5. And he is 5 runs, 3 runs, 4, 5, 3, and then a 5-inning shutout against the Yankees, which they ended up winning 5-3 in 10 innings. Let's go Pitt, over 9.5, free play. This will be 2 units. Don't love it, but it's Pitt, and they score a lot, and the Arizona will score, and both pitchers suck. Both pitchers roughly have 5 ERAs, so therefore both pitchers suck. And that's the bottom line with the pitchers. So they both suck. There should be runs, and both teams can hit. Pitt hits a lot. Arizona win some, lose some. But they should hit Keller. So both teams should hit, and then it comes to the bullpen. So we either get screwed by the bullpen where they shut out everybody, or the bullpen pitches, here's a couple runs here and there. Again, you're dealing with really 5 pitchers on each team. This is what makes baseball hard. You got Pittsburgh, and you see the starter, but it's not just the starter. It's the other 5 pitchers that are going to come in the game. And how do you know how they're going to pitch? You don't see their stats. So you don't really know. And that's the whole problem. All right. Next, Philadelphia at Miami. All right. We're going Philly. This is This is going to be a 4-unit lock. We got Zach Wheeler with his 2.16 ERA goes against T. Phillips 4.91. Now, without even looking at T. Phillips, this is a Philly lock. But let's take a look at him. T. Phillips, Tyler Phillips from Bishop Uton High School. Oh, God. He's 2-5 his last 7. A lot of unders. His last 7 games: 8 runs, 2 runs, 2 runs, 5 runs, a 5-inning shutout, 1 inning, 2 runs, 4 innings, 3 runs. The 5-inning shutout was against Seattle, 2-0. But mostly he's giving up runs. And he goes 5. He did go 7 innings once, 97. Gave up 2 runs to St. Louis. But he loses. So there you go. So take Zach Wheeler. We won with Sanchez yesterday, and Wheeler with the 2.16 is probably better than that. Again, that's the whole season, but I'm not even going to waste time looking at his last 5 and everything. We know how good he is, and there's no need. Just like Sanchez, we don't need to look at his last 5 or 6. So there we go. Zach Wheeler, the game's at Miami. The line's minus 180, 7.5. I wouldn't waste time with 7.5. I would just go Zach Wheeler. Baltimore at Detroit. Detroit 113, 8.5. Bradish 3.50 against Montero, who's been a reliever lately with a 3.26. So I don't know how many innings Montero is going to go. Bradish is 5-2 his last 7. A lot of, some unders, some overs. We remember Detroit can hit. Last 6, 1 run, 0, 4, 3, 1, 1. So he struggled with 2 5s before that. So since the 2 5s, 1, 0, 4, 3, 1, 1. 4 is probably against the Yankees. Oh, it was against Washington. Montero. Now, he's been pitching a lot as the bullpen guy. So I really can't look at it. He's been good winning, but it's an inning here and 2 innings there. So his last 6, 2 innings, nothing, 3 innings, nothing, an inning and 2/3, nothing, 3 innings, 3 runs, 3 innings, 0, 5 innings, 1 run, and he went 81 pitches. So he's win some, lose some. 3.26 ERA is not right because that's just looking at the starts. Bradish seems to be pretty good. You got to probably go under. Montero will go 4 or 5 innings. Bradish looks good. We know Detroit can hit. They played a 5-4 game with Kansas City as KC beat them 5-4. Detroit 50 and 56, Baltimore 51 and 55. So they both kind of blow. I think Baltimore does a good job. I think this is, I can't say because it's not a free play. Toronto, Washington. Max Scherzer's back. Wow. Washington 115 and 10. No respect for Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer 10.23 ERA against Yeen a 0. This is a game I can't play. Scherzer, he's like an X-Men. He's got a blue eye and a green eye. Scherzer hasn't pitched since June 10th. He's 1-5 this year. Most of them are over. And it's really pointless to go through this. 1.28, 2.75. So he's not very good. Yeen, this is the problem. They want to keep the guy's old. Get rid of him. Eddie Yeen from the Dominican Republic, and he did pitch 3 games, 2-1. He just pitches an inning or 2. So there's nothing you can do here. You got a reliever against Scherzer who hasn't pitched in a month and a half. Washington 115-10. You know, I don't. I guess they think Scherzer's that bad. He's going to give up a bunch of runs. I can't play that, and I don't know what Yeen's going to do. So we'll watch. Atlanta against the Mets. This is strange. The Mets are 105, 8.5, but Perez just pitched a day or two ago, and Thornton 196. Perez, I thought he just pitched. His last game was July 22nd. Yeah, that was 5 days ago. What's going on here? He's he won a game, lost 3, and won 4. So he's 5-3. His last 8. 2-4. So his last 6, 1 run, 3, 4, 5, and then a 4-inning shutout against San Diego, which they won 7-6. And he throws 75, 80 pitches. So his last 5 is 1 run, 3, 4, 5, and a shutout, but he's only going 4 innings against the JETSs. Joe Namath will be pitching today. Zach Thornton 196, and he's pitched 4 games since May 20th, July 12th, July 21st. So he's not really consistent. 4 runs, 1 run, shutout, and shutout. His last 2 have been 6 and 7 innings shutouts, 80 pitches. They won 4-0 July 21st, and he lost 3-2 to Boston July the 12th, pitching his shutouts. So I don't know what to do with Zach Thornton. So I don't know. Perez not pitching well. Thornton, who knows? You got to pass on this. You don't have enough data. Again, we're playing art, not science, and in the art world, I can't pick the game when I don't have enough data. Cleveland and Cincinnati, and this is an easy one. Cincinnati 157, 8.5. Sassoni against Burns. Burns, the ace, the all-star, the myth, the legend. And Sassoni is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 2-6 his last 8. It's funny, he had like 5 or 6 unders in a row, and his last 3 have been over. His last 6 games have been 1, 2, 0, 5, 3, 7. And Burns. All right. We know what to do there, don't we? We got Max Fried going for the Yankees. So we're starting to get some pitchers back. Yankees 140, 8.5. Fried against Nick Schultz, who I know sucks for the White Sox. How is Mr. Fried doing? Maximilian, he prefers. Last game was May 13th. He comes back July 22nd. So if we look at July 22nd, he beats Pitt 2-0, which is very impressive against Pitt. 5 innings, 1 hitter, 57 pitches. What do we got here? We got a 5-inning, 4 or 5-inning game. I can't really go back on Fried because before it was in March, it was in May. Nick Schultz 611, plus 129, 8.5. Do we go Nick Schultz or Noah Schultz? Noah, he built the arc. He sucks. He's 1 2 3 4 5. He's 1-5 his last 6. He's gone 5 innings, 3 runs, 6 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs, 1 run, 5 runs. This guy is terrible. Fried. Yep. All right. We know what to do there. The Cubbies at St. Louis. They play a lot. The Cubbies 117, 9.5. David Peterson, 6.98 against Liberatore, 5.18. Seems obvious and over, but let's take a look. Peterson. Yeah, he was at the Mets. I remember watching him on a Met game. He started 8 games with the 6.09 ERA. He started 4 games for the Cubbies with the 5.57. So he's not much better. Let's go back the last 4. And he's 2-2, 3-1 over. 2 runs, 10 runs, 1 run, 0. So it skews it because of the 10 runs. The ERA looks much higher, but in fact, it was a 2, a 1, and a shutout. The 10 runs came against St. Louis, where they lost 17-1. You're wondering why the manager left the pitcher in to give up 10 runs. He throws 91 pitches in 3 innings, gives up 3 walks, 9 hits, 10 runs. What a stupid manager. So he basically gives up a game and they lose because he's got to burn innings. This is what you're dealing with. Oh, well, analytics says I got to burn the innings. You can see this guy doesn't have it, giving up 10 runs in 3 innings. Get him out of the fucking game. You're trying to win it. Oh, he's not pitching well. Go to your long reliever. Yeah, but my long reliever is right-handed, and they got a bunch of left-handed pitchers, so I can't go to him. Left-handed hitters. It's severe idiotics. The communists are taking over. Libertari 516 for St. Louis, and he's 2-4 his last 6. And he's 7 runs, 6 runs, 1, 4, 0, and a 5. 6 innings against Atlanta. They won 4-1. The other 2, he lost to California 5-1 in the Cubbies. So he's got the Cubbies again. You would think this is an over, but St. Louis, I don't know. They can't hit. And then they hit Mizorowski, the one outfielder. So it looks like they got one player, and then you're wondering why don't they pitch around the guy. I believe this will be over 9.5. Yeah. All right. Houston and California. I May against Urena. We got Houston -105, 8.5. I May from Japan, a Mr. Fuji guy. Mr. Fuji's his manager. And I May's been hot. He's 6-1 his last 7. Good. And his last 6 games, 2/3 of an inning, 5 runs, 3 runs, a shutout, 5 runs in an inning and a third, 2 runs in 3 2/3, and 1 run in 6. So this guy's either really good or really stinks. 2/3 of an inning, and he gives up 5 runs, which is like a 45 ERA. If you gave up 5 runs in 1 inning times 9 would be 45. That's what's killing his ERA, and he did it again. So he did it to Kansas City, and then he did it again to Minnesota, and he got killed. But he did have a 6-hit shutout against Detroit and a 6-hit 1-run against Miami. So this is where you're getting the inconsistency of the guy, and that's the guy. The science guy will just look at his ERA, 5.59, go over. The art guy, us, will look at it and go, well, there was one game he didn't do well, but he did well in the other 3, and you don't know what you're going to get, so you can't do anything. Urena, the 2.86. He's 3-3 his last 6. His last 6, 4 runs, shutout, 7 runs, 1 run, 0, 1 run. So he's pitched good. 7 runs against Oakland at home. I don't know what you get here. This could be an under just as easily as they both can suck. Urena's 2.86. I don't buy. And I May's 5.59. I think I May's a little bit lower and Urena's a little higher, but I'm not going to play this one. And we got Boston at Oakland. And we got Catfish Hunter on the mound against Louis Tiant today. Boston 172, 9.5. Tolley 3.34 against Perkins 7.84. Ooh, Perkins, you're so bad. But so's Tolley. Tolley's no day at the beach. Tolley's 4-1 his last 5. Good for him. His last 6, 3 runs, a 7-inning shutout, 6 runs, a 6-inning shutout, 1 run, and then a 4-run. So again, if we go back a little further, it's 2-0, 4-3-3, 0-6, 0-1-4. What are you doing? So you don't know what you're getting. And so you take the average, and he's 3-3-4. At Oakland, they do hit, and it's a small field. Let's see. So we're kind of tempting the over. Let's see what this guy, Jack Perkins, sounds like a bullpen. No, he's not. Oh, he just stinks. He's lost his last 6. Hello. This is what we're looking for. His last 6, 3 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 7, 3, and 3. And most of these are 3 and 4 inning games. So he's going to give up a bunch of runs. He sucks. Tolley's good and bad. Oakland can hit. All right. So we know what to do there. Yeah, this Perkins is terrible. 784. What is he doing in the middle? Oh, injuries. Why is there injuries if it's analytical and it's all science and they're only supposed to go 100 pitches and every 18th day they pitch? I mean, it's such bullshit. In our last game, Milwaukee at the 49ers. The Packers-Niner game, always a good one. Milwaukee 132, 8.5. Sprout 501 against Mayo 531. Again, it appears to be an over. But we have to dig down into the game. And Sprout for Milwaukee's 4-2 his last 6. And his last 6, 4-run shutout, 2, 1, 3, and 2. So Sprout looks pretty good. All these Milwaukee players are really good. They got really good pitchers. I haven't seen Harrison in a while. So we'll see what he's up to. And Mayo. He's 2-6 his last 8. This is the guy in the 49ers. And his last 6 games, 3 runs shutout, 4 runs, 4 runs, 1 run, 3 runs. So he had a 5-inning shutout against Oakland, which is very impressive. At home, at San Francisco. Colorado, Kansas City. All right. So Mayo's okay. Did I say he's 6-2? No, he's 2-6. I think Sprout's 6-2. Sprout's 4-2. All right. I think Mayo might have been 2-6 is what it was. Anyway, Milwaukee 132, 8.5. 66-39. This is the best team in the league against 44-61, the Niners. So on that standpoint, you'd want Milwaukee, but we don't do it that way. We do it by pitcher, not by the team. Sprout, Mayo. Yeah, I don't know. Do we trust Sprout? Maybe. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? I'm giving you Pittsburgh over 9.5, 2 units, and Philadelphia is the lock, 4-unit lock. Those are yours for the taking. And then I played 6 other games. All right. You got to buy to get my art games. See, as I expand, as I develop, and I expand, I start coming up with proper terms. Like I'm a grandmaster, like I'm a chess guy. John C. TK, what do you think of that Brewers pitching who throws 100 miles an hour? Oh, Mizorowski, he's the best. He's the best player in the league. He should win the MVP and the Cy Young easily. Fuck Shotani. He doesn't do shit. Skeens had a bad year. Sanchez and Wheeler are good at Philadelphia. The kid pitching at Cincinnati today is very good. And that's it. So that's how I look at it. Definitely the best player in the league. Yeah, Mizrahi. We've been betting Mizrahowski almost every game. And when he goes against like Sanchez of Philadelphia, we had that. We just took it under. And it was a 2-1 game. So it's perfect. So that's baseball. Yeah, the best player in the league by far, Mizrahowski. And we just hope his arm stays healthy and he doesn't do anything stupid. He has a real smooth delivery, and be fine. But I guarantee you, Mizrahowski, you get into a playoff game with him, he ain't coming out of the game. You can go 9 innings with him, and stop worrying about the pitch count. It doesn't matter. Louis Tiant could go 160, and Mickey Lolich on 2 days rest won the '68 World Series with a complete game against the Cardinals. Bob Gibson pitched on 2 days rest. Yeah, it's bullshit. Sandy Koufax complete games in the '65 World Series. So don't tell me the game's changed, and don't tell me these guys can't throw 140, 150 pitches very easily. They're just stuck on this whole stupid analytics, the science of, well, if they go more than 100 pitches, they're going to get injured. Well, they don't go 100 pitches, and they're getting injured, left and right. What the fuck are you talking about? So that's really what you got to look at. So we'll keep that in mind. We will see. Okay, I was watching Amazing Race. It's an old one, but because I like to travel, so I like seeing, like yesterday, they were in Singapore. Well, I watched a few episodes, and they ended up in San Francisco. And I really don't like when there's cheating involved. I find if you win because you cheated, it's tainted. It's not, you didn't really win. You shouldn't be proud of the win. And the other team, I thought, I'll tell you what I would have done. So they're on the last leg, and this is for the $1 million, whoever wins this leg. And they're at the airport in China, and they got to fly to San Francisco. But it's a time thing. So they get there at like 2 a.m, and the flight, leaves at 10 a.m. So the ticket counter isn't open till, let's say, 7 a.m. So they're all sleeping. Well, the team that gets there first, and then the team that got there second, and the team that gets there third. And the team that got there third jumped in line ahead of the team that was second. And the guy kind of is there. He's playing with his brother. Both teams are playing with their brothers. And the team that cut in front, the brother says, well, don't get upset. And then the guy jumps, and so he gets the second place, gets a better seat on the plane, and then gets off first, which is a huge advantage in a race, right? You're first. And now I don't blame them. They moved up into first class, and I don't blame them for that. That was perfectly fine. That was being smart. Making cuts was not being smart, and they didn't need it. They still could have moved into first class if they were wherever they were. And the guy who should have had the second ticket didn't really do anything. And here's how I would have handled it. I would have grabbed the guy and said, I'm second. Go fuck off. You're not going to fuck with me. You're not going to cheat me. I would not have let him do that. I would have said, no, I'm second. And do you really want to fuck with me? Because you won't win. I will mentally torture anybody if you fuck with me. So I would not have handled it that way. Because again, this is a race for $1 million, and the guy behind him is still in the race for the $1 million. But what I don't like is this guy's willing to cheat, right? The guy in third place is willing to cheat to win the race, cut in front in line. And like I said, the play to go into first class was fine. That I applaud. Asking people for help, I applaud. But cheating, I don't applaud. You cannot win by cheating. And they should have penalized the guy. And I was a little disappointed in the host not penalizing. No. You cheated. You cut in front of the guy. That's a 30-minute, hour penalty, whatever. And he should have done that. And again, if I was the guy behind him and he could have kicked his ass, I would have said, no, I'm here. And then I would have physically pulled him back. And I've done that before where people try to take cuts on me and I cut in front of them saying, no, I'm here now. I do that in the hot tub when I get the real hot with the big jet, but I go stretch my legs and my feet and my back on this thing. And I like push it against the wall, and there's a place that jets out. So I'm like 2 or 3 feet away from that jet. And if somebody tries to take the jet away from me, I'll say, I'm here. Because I'll usually leave my glasses. I won't wear my glasses in the pool or the hot tub. And I will say, no, that's my spot. And if they don't move, I will sit on them. Yeah, you're moving. Go fuck off. Don't fuck with me. And so, it goes to this whole cheating atmosphere. I'm in the hot tub and these kids lie about you're supposed to be 11 with a parent, with a parent, 14 without one. These little kids, 8, 9 years old. I mean, you can see they're not developed. They're little. They don't weigh a lot, very little faces. And they'll say, I'm 11. And why and the lifeguards are a bunch of idiots and they let them, come in, but they lie. And then the parents lie. The parents will bring in the kids and say, oh, he's 11. And there's no way they're 11. And they kind of laugh at it. We got in. And all the laughing and all the corruption and all the cheating, it just blows my mind. I hate that. I hate people that cheat and lie because they're weak. And I hate weakness. And it just blows my mind that people are teaching their kids to lie to get into a hot tub that's 110 degrees. That's really bad for kids because it's too hot for them. They don't want me to stick my head in the water because I could get a stroke, which I kind of laugh at going, it's not that hot. And I'm only going under for like 2 seconds. It's like, go under. Okay. Just to kind of, get warm. But the little kids aren't supposed to be in there. Otherwise, why have an age restriction? And if you're going to have an age restriction, then you got to use it. And to let these 7, 8-year-olds come in and say, I'm 11, there's my mom, and they let them in is just stupid. But they're teaching them to lie, and the parents will lie for the kids. Oh, no, Johnny's 11. I know he looks about 6, and he is really. And so I always go, ask for the birthday. I'll tell the lifeguards, ask for the birthday, because they're not going to know that. They're going to say, oh, my birth date is 2020, July 5th, 2020. They won't know to go back 14 years or 11 years. And that's when you'll catch them instead of just asking, how old are you? They know to say 11 or 14 or whatever. Anyway, it's just the cheating. But yeah, it's pretty ridiculous watching people, and then so they win $1 million, and then here's the government taking probably 40% of it. Why are they taking 40%? Why does the government get 40%? Why is there a tax on you won? That part I really don't understand, because when you lose, you don't use it as a tax write-off. Yeah, I lost $100 playing the lottery. Well, you can't. But if I win $1 million playing the lottery, I got to pay 40% tax on it. Somehow doesn't seem fair or right. And why does the government feel that anytime you make money, they want to tax you? Oh, you made money on stock? Give us our cut. You got at the bank, you got interest, give us our cut. What is that? I mean, that's just pure bullshit. So that really is frustrating. All right. So again, gold, maybe that is the physical price, the Shanghai price, because maybe they haven't adjusted it yet. But just based on supply, 200,000 versus 4.3 million, the price has to be much higher. And you will never see in a physical market for gold at this price go down, because that means there's no demand. And as Pat tells us, there's huge demand in Singapore. So yeah, no, there's plenty of demand for gold. The price should not be going down. It has nothing to do, it is not correlated with the dollar. The dollar is totally irrelevant if what the dollar's doing to what the physical price of gold should be. I mean, they talk about it, but it's totally irrelevant. So anyway, that's kind of what we see. Anyway, that's what's going on. So I like watching The Amazing Race, like I said, only to see the other, like, where do I want to travel to? Like, I'm watching Singapore and going, yeah, I might want to go there and visit Pat. And been to Europe a lot, but we got wars going on there. They also went to China, which I was like looking at that, but the problem is the government's kind of communist. And so do you really want to be there? So it looks nice, but you got to be careful of the government. But Singapore, I think, looked really nice. And they were in Germany and France, and they went through Liechtenstein, which was 221 kilometers from end to end. It's just funny. They were in Austria, which I've been in Austria and Switzerland. So it was nice to say, hey, I've been there. But I just like to see the traveling. Now, will we travel? This is how you have to have money. If you don't have money, how are you gonna get on the plane? How are we gonna have planes? How are you gonna pay for the gas for the plane? And you're not gonna pay for the gas if you can't get reimbursed. The whole thing, the whole economy will crumble in 5 seconds if you don't have money. Now, you're not supposed to ruin it. And a lot of it, the George Soros and Charles Schwab, what you get out of them is that's what they're trying to get to is this perfect communism. But they're the kings. They're the one in charge, and they're going to suppress all the people. You're going to have nothing and like it and be happy, but we'll be the kings. And that's kind of what I see they're trying to do, but it won't work because you can't. All right, so if there's no money, then you're not the king because you don't have money. You don't have money either. But money is not a control item. Money is an information thing. You want Coca-Cola, it costs you a couple bucks. Boom. And that's it. All right, let's check so we did college football yesterday. I showed you my site, how I picked the games, how you can play the games. So you can basically play the games by looking at my picks, playing my picks, using a derivative of my picks, going, well, I like this one, that one, and that one. I'm going to play a 3-team teaser. I really like this team. He likes it. Okay, I'm going to play that. I had a lot of that. All right, we got gold 40.80, and it's current, and silver 58.71. So again, it's bullshit price. Again, the only reason a price drops is there's no demand. And we have huge demand of gold, and you can't increase the supply, so the price has to go up. And again, it's got nothing to do with the dollar going up or down. It's such a stupid fallacy that Alligator McLeod keeps saying, oh, it's the dollar going, and he's like proud of it. It's the dollar going down, not gold going up. And he doesn't understand what he's talking about. How do you get to the $4,000 gold price? Through the market, which we don't have. We don't have a physical price on gold. We're trying to get one with Shanghai, and we'll hopefully get a fair physical price on ours without using all these options and derivatives to lower the price down. but we really don't have it, and it really has nothing to do with the dollar. The emphasis on the dollars being printed to death puts you into gold, but the gold price, we have no idea. And the gold value, we have no idea. This 4,080 is not the value of gold by a mile. John C. TK, you like baseball these days? Well, being retired, I have more time like now to go through the baseball and analyze it and problem solve it, critical think it, and art versus physical. So yeah, I always like winning. I always like problem solving it, and now I've got it down to an art. I was going to say to a science, but to an art and a science where I know what to look for to get the proper plays, and that's the whole point. So you are looking at that. So I don't. The game's kind of boring to me, but I do like if Mizorowski's pitching or Scanes, I would like to see the game, to see the pitchers. There's no real hitters that are out there that you want to see, like the pitchers. So it's a strange game now. You'd rather see the pitchers than the hitters. When before it was, I want to see Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Pete Rose. I want to see Mike Schmidt and Mickey. You'd want to watch the hitters, and now there's no hitters. I was watching some YouTube thing on why the batting averages are so low, and he tried to imply, well, because now the OPS is more important than the batting average, and I told him to fuck off. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. I love calling these people idiots. The reason they're not is because they're not good hitters, and it's just analytics, and it's stupid. Again, this is looking at the science, not the art. The art is there was a guy on second and third. I need a hit to drive in the runs. Not, I need a walk. A walk's not as good as a hit. I hate when people say that. No, it's not. You have second and third, 2 outs in the ninth. A walk is not as good as a hit. Drives in 2 rounds. A walk doesn't drive in anything. Now they have these challenges. Do you think it was better back in the day? What challenges are you talking about? Well, I certainly enjoyed it much better. I know I wasn't born in the 50s. In the 60s, it was nice. You had a lot of very skilled players. In the 70s, in the 80s, it was okay, and it's gone downhill in the 2000s as you have such bad players. Like now, it's terrible. You're finally starting to get good pitching, but you have no hitting. Like I say, you have 2 or 3 hitters hitting. And yes, it's all batting average and RBIs. It always has been, and it always will be. Babe Ruth would come up and he'd hit home runs, and Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio, 56-game hitting streak, not a 56-game walk streak. And then you had Mickey, and then you had Willie Mays and Hank Aaron. So what the fuck? Clemente, 3,000 hits. That's what it's about. Mike Schmidt. That was the point. Johnny Bench. I mean, you're trying to get. Pete Rose had 4,000 hits, not 4,000 walks. It's a hitting game. You're supposed to get up and hit, and all these walks and all this looking for home runs and the batting is horseshit. It's a lousy game. As I say, these analytics are more or less a way for the bad teams to catch the good teams, because the good teams fuck themselves when they don't do it. Like Winnebago guarding 3-point shooting. Well, that gets him away from the basket. That's good for the Knicks or whoever, Oklahoma or whoever's playing. It's good for them if Winnebago's away from the basket. So we'll create analytics, and he'll go out and guard the 3-point shooter like an idiot. And that's where they don't get it. Or him taking 3-point shots. Dude, you should be under the basket. So should Luca Bronzi and all these European guys. There's pussies that don't want to get inside and shoot 3-point shots. You're 7 foot. You have a huge advantage being 7 foot in basketball if you're close to the basket. If you're outside shooting 3 points, there goes your advantage. Now you're just another jump shooter. I don't even have to guard you. I'll just wait for your rebound. And this is the problem with basketball, and you can't watch it in baseball. The pitcher comes out of the game after 5. You don't even know. You're watching so many minor leaguers, and that's the problem with it. You've got very bad players playing in a game, and it's just ridiculous. And what are you doing? I mean, it's just it's hard to watch because of that. And that's the problem. Like in sport, football, at least Mahomes plays the whole game, as does Joe Burrow and Chase. It hasn't gotten where, oh, Joe, you've thrown 40 passes. That's your pitch count. We got to take you out. If you did that, nobody would watch football ever again. So why are they doing it in baseball? So that's what's destroyed baseball. You got a great Skanes against Mizorowski. You want them in the whole 9 innings. It's Koufax and Gibson. You want to see the whole game with them. You don't want them to come out after 5 innings because they pitch so many pitches because the team's hitting foul balls. That, again, helps the bad team because they can't hit. They're just hitting a bunch of foul balls. I was so happy Detroit lost yesterday 5-4. And I didn't bet Kansas City, but I was just so happy because everybody, they're going to the World Series. Yeah, okay. Sure they are. Anyway, that's the problem. So yeah, that's why we like football the best. It's not the only analytics in it is the stupid. You're down 14, go for 2, and if you miss, you're down 9 and you lost the game, which I don't understand. And then this 4th down crap, which is just a joke. The good teams would have good defenses and play to the, punt the ball and let Lawrence Taylor win the game for you when you put him inside the 10. And now they all want to go for it at midfield, and they end up losing the games. And they're very stupidly coached, and the coaches just use analytics. That's the problem. They don't use the art. They don't analyze and problem solve what the fuck they're doing. They just go, that's what Dan came with the Lions. It's 4th and 2. We got to go. Punt the ball. Let your defense. Well, we don't have a defense. We just have an offense. We got a third string quarterback, a good running back, one good receiver, a makeshift offensive line, and a shit defense. So we can't really punt it because we couldn't stop the wind. So maybe that's what the Lions do, but this is the problem. So it makes it difficult. But we see it in gold. Like I keep shouting, like, if you want to retire, just buy gold and silver. You really have no risk, and it's going to go up. And yes, you can make money on gold because you're going to lose money in the dollar. So just the gold will buy more. So, again, Alligator will say, well, you're really not in it to make money in gold. Another sign he's an idiot. I don't, Alligator McLeod, I don't know. The more he talks, the less he knows. Oh, you're not in gold to make money. Yes, you are. You're going to make money because it's been suppressed and it's going to go to its true value. Now, if it was at its true value, 25,000, yeah, you're not going to make money on it. You're going to save your money, but because it's knocked down to 4,000, the real value is 25,000. You're gonna seem to make money because it'll go up to its true value, which is what we're waiting for. In all these wars, it's crazy. But anyway, keep in mind on that. So again, baseball, Pitt over 9.5 today, and Philly, we got Zach Wheeler going. So take those two, and the Philly game's a 4-unit lock. And that's it. So we did college football over the weekend and pro football. I assume, let's check. Is there the Hall of Fame game this week? Oh, yeah, they have the challenges. Do you think it was better? Yeah, the challenges are a joke. They challenge the game calls now, even the pitches. It's ridiculous because it takes the enjoyment and the flow out of the game to look at a pitch and let the umpires umpire. You shouldn't be doing that. It's really stupid. Let's see. So we'll go to scores and odds. We'll try to go to scores and odds. It's slow. So let's go to Hall of Fame game. Chargers 34, Lions 7 on 7/31. Well, we're at July 27th, so I don't know what they're talking about. They haven't reset it, but how about 2026? Nope, they're saying Chargers 34-7, which is played on the 31st. So what are they trying to tell us? Let's go to week 1. Yeah, they haven't updated from last year. So I want to get to Yahoo, I guess. These websites are so slow because they got to filter in the commercials. Now, just a second. This is crazy. Hold on. All these sites get a hiccup in them. All right, here we go. So the preseason, we got Carolina playing Arizona at the Hall of Fame Stadium. We still don't have a date. Okay, 8/6. So it's Thursday. So it's next Thursday. Why is it on a Thursday? is somebody supposed to watch it on it's usually on Saturday. So it should be on this Saturday, which is the first, but it's on next Thursday. So we got a week. It's the Carolina at Arizona, and it's Carolina 1.5, 35.5, which is absolutely meaningless. Unbettable game. But again, why is it on Thursday night? We're all going to watch the Hall of Fame game. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hate the challenge. It kills the flow of the game, although baseball is pretty boring anyway. But I hate when they do it in football. I hate when they change it to line the game. What is that? It's first down. Just call it first down. Why do they change the names? It's like changing to communism. They want to get you out of capitalism and into communism. They change names and all this crap. It's just bad. It's getting you used to change. Oh, we'll go to communism. That's fine. Everybody lives nicely there. So yeah, it's insanity. But yeah, I don't like the challenges at all. It's not a good thing, and it's getting ridiculous. I don't like the pitch clock or the batter's clock. I think that's stupid. I don't know why they're in a hurry to move the game, because kids don't have a brain capacity to last more than a half hour doing something, because they're all on their iPhones playing video games or stuff, something like that. It's really stupid. Anyway, so scores and odds is still in fantasy land. All right. Anything else before I go have lunch? www.teaserking.com. So I showed you the purchase picks. You pick what you want. You get a password. You go into this week's picks, put in the password. You get the picks. Now I showed you the picks, so you can play them any way you want. But I do vary the units because I want you to bet more on certain games than others because I like them better. But I still like this other game. It's sort of like the Pitt over 9.5. I like it, but I like the Philadelphia game. That's the lock more because of the pitcher. So we do that in football. Well, we like Mahomes a lot more than we like, you know, the 49ers, let's say. So that's why we make different, like we're more comfortable with certain players or coaches. So that's really what you're looking at. And we go from there. So that's about it. Again, if you want to leave a comment there. So I'll post August 29th when football starts. I'll probably start posting by the 20th. I should have some game. If there's games I really like or want to lock before the line moves, I'll do it. You can't go out too far because you got to keep in mind injuries. So you don't want to get caught. Oh, and then the quarterback's out. So about the 20th, maybe a little bit further on, 21st, 22nd, I'll post, the college, the pros are 9-6, I believe. So that'll be that, whatever that Monday is. I mean, they start the Thursday, the Seahawk game. So it'll be probably a week before then. Anyway, and this, again, I'm giving you different units as more confidence, like I do with baseball, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. So I expect you to bet more on the 4-unit game than the 2-unit game. And that's it. Yeah, the challenge sucks. All this AI stuff sucks. They're trying to sell it to you to let them do everything. If you really understand it, if AI does everything, you're not doing anything. You lose your skill. You're not needed. You're fucked. And then you're not understanding critical thinking because you're not thinking about the problem AI is. If you go to AI about something, which I don't even know why you need AI, I'll just go to Google and search. I did a search on Russia. Is the VPN still down? And they gave me Yeah, the Russian VPN's been battered pretty bad, and not too many are in use. So I'm wondering, where's Daria contacted me, and then it's, well, the VPNs are out mostly in Russia, so she can't. Oh, okay. So you're just trying to get the feel, but I didn't need AI for that. I just needed Google for it. So I don't really understand the differentiation between AI and Google. Doesn't seem to be any. It's just information. I don't want AI doing things for me, and I don't want them telling me what to do. I find that offensive, and I don't want to be lazy. I mean, they already got you with DoorDash and this other and Amazon not going to the store. Oh, just stay home, and Amazon will deliver and DoorDash will deliver. And I'm like, fuck that. I'll go to this. I want to go to the grocery store. I want to get out and I want to pick my avocados that are fresh and not just take a bag of avocados. So anyway, that's about it. I'm going to go watch another season of Amazing Race, and I'll keep an eye on gold and silver and keep looking at football and going to the pool later. So we will see. So we'll enjoy. Have a nice night, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Pat, let us know what's going on in Singapore with physical gold, please, because we don't really have the price, or as we're talked, it hasn't moved yet, but it's going to move. But if they keep using the COMEX price, what's the point of going physical if you're not going to actually use the physical price? So we'll see. But I think we're going to actually use it, but it might take a week or two. All right. Have a good day, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Hope you learned and enjoyed. We want to be art, not science. So we don't want to just take a formula. We want to break the formula down, analyze it, see if it even works. And we want to analyze our own, and then we make money. All right. Take care, everybody.